We have with us Aastha Sharma, and she has got the fifth rank in the Delhi Judicial Services. The results were announced 1 week back. एक हफ्ते पहले रिजल्ट आए हैं. Her parents, Papa, Mummy, and her younger brother. And you are from Delhi only or outside? So you have come from Jaipur.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And many congratulations to you. God bless you. And she has been a pure online student. Joined in July 2020. And she has completed her course 22, I believe.
Yes, sir. With
And
CRPC.
with CRPC. बैठ जाइए, आप लोग भी बैठ जाइए, हम भी बैठ जाते हैं, प्लीज. She cleared the Rajasthan judiciary also. उसके बाद she has राजस्थान में क्या रैंक आया था आपको? 39. राजस्थान में she got the 39th rank. After that she took the Haryana prelims, Haryana mains, but Haryana interview में she got less, and she could not clear Haryana. And now she took Delhi. Delhi में interview में she has got 115, no?
Yes, sir.
115 out of 150. So let us not talk about Haryana much.
Yes, sir.
And this mic I am giving to you. Now it is all up to you. Tell us about yourself and your background, and then how did you prepare and all. First of all, you tell us about your joy, your happiness. Getting the fifth rank in DGS is not that easy a task. 35,000 minimum, I think 35,000. I'm not sure, but 35,000 people may have filled the form. And out of that, you are the fifth one. So that matters. So कुछ तो होगा तुम्हारे अंदर. और वो भी you did the classes online.
Yeah, sir, I think online classes in fact helped me a lot because I did not have a lot of time to prepare. I passed out of college in 2021
Okay.
and I was already taking classes for a year before that. And as soon as I cleared, passed my college, in November, the pre-exams happened for Rajasthan and Haryana both. So I only had 4 or 5 months to prepare everything.
For these
And
two.
Yes, sir. So because I had so much time, because I was at home, all the classes were online, I didn't have to travel anywhere. So I think that was a big factor. If I had to live in this city away from my parents and handle things on my own, I think I would have a
Where did you do your college from?
West Bengal National University, Calcutta.
Acha, West
Hanji, sir.
Bengal. Great.
So from there, and
And how many classes you were doing here?
so 3 classes
3.
Minimum. I started with 2, but then I realized that as the vacancies are coming in, I cannot lose this time. So I started taking 3, 4 at one point, and that's how I cleared these
And you
exams.
got over with the course in 2022.
Yes, sir. My CRPC was left before all these examinations, but the notes were provided. So, and I understood how to read those notes only because
Wow.
because of your way. So it was very easy to grasp those notes.
So online classes you were okay with?
Yes, sir. Perfectly okay. I think I preferred that actually. It can be a bias, but there was nothing new. I don't think there is any difference in online class or offline classes.
ठीक है. And what was your motivation for going for judiciary?
Sir, I don't know, but I got this idea in 8th standard because of my father and also because of some family background. I had this approach towards social justice, and I thought that this is the right direction I should go in. But after 12th, when I joined college, my college had several opportunities. So I interned with various lawyers, NGOs. Then I interned with a judge of Calcutta High Court for 3 months. And I assisted with him in judgments, writing orders, research, etc. And I realized that that is the area that I'm more proficient in. So that just told me that this is the area for you. You don't have to work anywhere else.
That is what motivated you.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. And how did you start, like along with the classes, how did you start your preparations?
Sir, I used to revise regularly, as you told me, but I also had college going on at that time when I was in 5th year. So I did not have a lot of time to revise all the subjects. But after I came back from college, I made a chart and I allotted certain weeks or time to each subject. And I used to take 2 subjects at a time so that it doesn't get boring. I'll take a criminal subject or a civil subject side by side. And I used to take a lot of mocks. I remember I used to bother Krishna sir with so many mocks. I started with pre because the vacancies had come for Rajasthan already. So I used to text him almost every 3 days. Sir, contracts ka mock, sir, CPC ka mock. And he used to be like, you take the mock, take first mock, then you tell me the marks, and then you take the second mock. I was like, no, sir, I'll take 2-3 mocks ek baar mein, and then I'll tell you what the score is.
By mocks, she means the test papers.
Test series, yes. And they were very helpful. I think taking revising regularly and then taking tests, that helped me because I knew my mistakes from day one.
That way you are always on your toes, no?
Yes.
लगातार पढ़ने का,
जी,
फिर
जी,
कमी अगर पता चल जाए तो इम्प्रूवमेंट का भी उसको पता चल जाता है. And for Delhi, what specifically did you do? Like getting this rank is not that easy.
Yes,
So
sir.
क्या special क्या किया तुमने?
Sir, I focused a lot on the new subjects.
You can keep the mic a
yes,
bit lower.
it was really hectic for me during Delhi because 24th April was Delhi pre. Then after a week I had Rajasthan mains. Then after 3 weeks I had Haryana mains, and then after 3 weeks I had Delhi mains. So by June I had already taken 4 examinations, and when I reached the stage of Delhi mains, I was already so tired that I couldn't revise CPC, CRPC, but I knew that I had them in my head. So I didn't look at those subjects. I only focused on the new subjects. And so this time there was general legal knowledge this time. There were a lot of new subjects added in Delhi. So I only focused on them. And I knew that a lot of students don't focus on language and GK part. So that was my more core area. And I remember talking to you about it after Rajasthan interview. You asked me how was my GK paper, and I told you, sir, it went really well. And you told me, okay, so if your GK paper went well, then you are sitting for the interview. And I think I've scored really well in GK.
You got 226 in that paper.
Yes, sir.
Highest marks in that.
My dad actually checked.
Your father is so excited. आपके पापा भी लॉ फील्ड में हैं?
No, sir. He is a government officer in electricity department.
अच्छा. Aastha has got 226 in the GK paper out of 250. So that is, I think that is the highest, no?
Yes, sir.
And chalo, I'll ask you about that. How did you prepare that? Then civil law 1, she has got 117.50. Civil law 2, again you have got good score, 144. That is 72% approximately. No, exactly 72%. And then criminal law also she has got good marks, 135. Interview she got 115. So total, and मेंस में टोटल इनका आया है 622. I think you are one of the persons who has broken the record of Shreya. Shreya in the mains long time back, 2011, she had got 613.
Yes, I remember.
And Pranjal has broken her record, 647. Then Anshul Agnihotri second rank, 638. And after that yours is 622. So आप लोगों ने श्रेया का रिकॉर्ड ब्रेक कर दिया. 3 people
glad,
have.
Sir. When I used to listen about Shreya ma'am, because you used to tell her story, I used to be like, यार काश ऐसे एक बार ऐसे हो पाए स्टेज पे राहुल सर ऐसे बोले कि अरे.
ठीक है, तो दिल्ली के लिए तुमने ये पहले तो लैंग्वेज का बताओ, लैंग्वेज कैसे प्रिपेयर की? वर यू ऑलरेडी वेरी गुड एट दैट और यू?
No, sir. So because I was already preparing for Rajasthan, and there is essay paper for Hindi and English both. So I already had my topics written. So I used to make a register of all the current topics which are going on and look at the past year papers and see what kind of topics they ask. So I had a list of them, and I used to regularly update myself with videos online. Live law was a morning ritual for me. I used to wake up in the morning, and before reading the newspaper I used to see live law, and I included a lot from live law and current legal things in my essays. So I think that helped. And I think the essays that they asked in legal GK were a lot from the past 2 months. They asked about liquor policy. They asked about refugees asylum, which was also going
current
on.
Only. Current.
Yes, sir. So very recent. So everything that I was reading for the past 2 months for already those 2 examinations, Rajasthan and Haryana, that helped me. And language, so I was already preparing for Rajasthan and Haryana both. So similarly, I think that taking Rajasthan and Haryana means also helped me because Pressy and translation, these are already there in Haryana. And so I didn't have to prepare for them during Delhi. Also, I didn't have any time. But I didn't even have to look at them. When they came in the exam, I just solved them there and there after a break of 3-4 weeks, and it was all good because I had been practicing for so long.
Basically, it was practice over a period
A long period of time. I used Rahul's IAS ka magazines which you give. So in the back there are a lot of I used to love them. Even if I couldn't read the entire magazine, I would go to the back and solve some Pressy translate. It's also a great reality check because I always did so many mistakes, and I would get very upset after that. So that helped me to push myself because I knew okay, I'm not doing very well. Because if I do from other books, they were quite easy. So then you get a sense of confidence ki, oh, you can do this. But I think booklets help you to know where you stand.
And how did you manage your translation thing?
Sir, there was a book which Krishna sir recommended for Haryana. I don't remember the exact name, but I did that. Then I did a lot of exercises from Rahul's IAS. I took a lot of practice sheets
They
from
give you a
Krishna
lot
sir.
of practice
Yes, sir.
sheets. No?
And
आपको ही मिला होगा.
And translation is very important, I think, because if you don't know that exact word, then you won't get your marks for that. And this time they had some essay on, I think, EPFO. So you needed to know the exact terms for those technical terms also. It wasn't some normal terms. So
ठीक है. तो language this is how you managed.
yes, sir.
एंड जीके में वो ऑब्जेक्टिव वाले इस बार मुझे ध्यान नहीं है ऑब्जेक्टिव वाले क्वेश्चंस पूछे थे छोटे छोटे
जी sir. So there is a book which again Krishna sir
books
recommended for
books and
free.
authors and those kinds of things.
Books there were not a lot of questions for books and authors. It was also very easy because it was the first time that they were asking GK questions, legal knowledge. So it wasn't very difficult. They were true and false and name. I think 20 were give one word answers, and they were also very basic. Like one of the question was, what are the three DMC के 3 organs which were just they were collaborated. So these were the type of questions which you can easily find if you are following the newspaper also.
No, if you are following the newspaper, these questions you will be able
Yes,
to
but
catch.
I don't know now. Maybe they'll make it more difficult. That was the first time they were doing that.
No, it will be like this only.
Yes, sir. So
Slightly more difficult maybe, but it will be more or less like that.
I think if you're on board with everything that is going on around you, it doesn't become an issue.
ठीक है तुम्हारा लैंग्वेज तो ऐसे हो गया एंड व्हाट डिड यू फोकस अपॉन इन द लॉ पेपर्स मींस वन वाज द क्लासेस
Yes, sir.
क्लास नोट्स प्लस केस लॉज you read that we
Case
were
laws I
sending.
read, yes sir. The booklet and also live law. So when you said read live law religiously, I read live law very religiously, and in fact the facts also. So that was very helpful.
एंड उसके अलावा और क्या क्या केसेस current cases from live law and then the ones that we were sending to you plus the booklets case booklets. Apart from that and Bear Act obviously and the class discussions. Apart from that, what else?
I practiced a lot of papers. A lot of papers. Because I realized that writing. Goma ma'am once said in class that you need to practice so much that when you are writing in the in the exam hall, your hands should write themselves. You shouldn't have to think about it. And I used to think that this is not happening. But when I practiced so much, that happened. When I sat in the examination, I didn't even have to think what I was writing. My hands were writing themselves. So I practiced a lot. I inculcated all the case laws and the pattern that you tell us. So I thought a lot, like you say. So even if I'm sitting and I don't want to study right now, so I will be thinking about something that I can write this in the beginning, then I can connect that with that, so it will make a different answer. Because so section 9 CPCs asked a lot in exams. In Delhi also they ask for 10 marks, 5 marks, and in Rajasthan so it's entirely theory.
Yeah, it is.
So I wanted to write different answers. So apart from just writing, I used to think and connect like case laws, some code that I read in judgments. I used to follow Honorable Justice Chandrachud's judgments thoroughly. So every time he used a quote in maybe Navteej Singh Johar or anywhere, I would remember it and I would inculcate that in my answers or in my essays. I've written so many quotes from Supreme Court in my essays, and I used to pat myself on the back after writing them.
So you used to collect those quotes.
Yes, sir. But very basic ones, not very heavy ones. I couldn't remember a lot of things. But this is the basic words. Even if I'm using the right terminology, I thought that I was able to convey to the examiner.
So means a bit of ornamentation by that
A
process.
little bit, yes, only sir.
And that is important. ये एक बहुत important आपको बता रहा हूँ. That is what she is suggesting. When you read case laws, or maybe current affairs and anything that you are reading, you may come across some important sentences. किसी जजमेंट में या फिर कहीं भी मिल जाएगा. At times the teacher also may use those sentences. उनका एक अलग से कॉपी बना लो उन sentences का, और बहुत ज़्यादा नहीं, 100-200 मैक्सिमम, और उनको आप elaborately यूज़ करो अपने आंसर्स में. That may be used in your opening paragraph or maybe in the last paragraph somewhere. that has a great significance. No,
Absolutely,
those sentences of
Absolutely.
Honorable Mr. D.Y. Chanchud, Chief Justice. Now he is writing a judgment and he has written a particular sentence there, and that is a very like, crisp kind of a sentence which has great implications. So you can use those kinds of things in your answers, and that gives a very good impression and impact upon the examiner. So that is how you can do. What that is what you are saying you
Yes, sir.
used to
Yes,
do.
sir. Especially
Yeah.
in essays, etc., it catches the eye of the examiner because the essays are mostly very common. For Rajasthan, at least, the topics are mostly repeated. This time they weren't repeated as much, but they're very broad. So, this time one of the essays was demonetization. What new will you write from so many students? So you need to write something that the examiner's eye will catch. Or death penalty. One of the topics was death penalty. What do you have to offer? Something new. So those quotes and that perspective, I think, really helps.
How do you feel after having cleared and that too with such a wonderful rank?
I was
How,
actually,
how do you feel now?
I was actually very surprised. So I, right after I took the mains, I was very sure that I had done really, really well, and because that was also my third examination after Rajasthan, Haryana, right? So I knew that every mistake was corrected, everything. But then it was so long before the interview
Yeah.
happened, and right after the interview, so my interview was for 7 minutes. And they asked a lot of questions on constitution. I had no idea. I have no idea. Maybe they got to know that I'm from Rajasthan. I've already been selected or something. At one point, I think I was crying inside because I was so nervous. And the last question they asked me something about res judicata, which I remembered from the class. And I was trying to answer, but the honorable judge, he wasn't letting me finish. He was telling me, no, you only give me a one-word answer. And I got completely blank. So I came out of the room and I started crying miserably. I came and sat in the car. My parents were like, how was your interview? I was like, I don't want to talk about it. I think I'm done with Delhi. They are not going to call me. So when I opened the list, that was the same day when my Rajasthan notification came out for the training. So as and when I was opening it, I was telling myself that, even if you don't get selected here, it's okay. You can try again. You have Rajasthan, whatever. And then I looked at the list and there was a name Aastha Sharma. And I was like, I don't know what. And then I looked at the roll number because like, let me be sure. And my roll number was 311. So every time I thought about it, I just went to CRPC.
CRPC.
So, and then I got really excited. I could actually feel that I was standing here and everything around me was just blank. I just rushed to my parents and then the entire thing, and then everything started just spinning. It was,
Well, that joy, that moment is different.
yes.
पापा का क्या reaction था?
My father is actually very emotional. He's actually very emotional. So he starts crying at every point. So he started crying a little bit. Then we were just hugging everyone. My brother he studies in Delhi in Hansraj. So he
Achha.
also rushed back home after that. So it was a very emotional moment.
Yeah, that is. Well, it is your hard work that gets you this, and that moment of joy and pride that you give to your parents. So nothing is worth it.
Yes, sir.
Nothing is beyond that. मतलब उसके worth it means उसके comparison में और कुछ नहीं है. So this is the duty of all of us to
Yes,
make our parents proud.
I mean, I don't think I can understand it right now, sir. I mean, I can only understand it when I reach their stage. Because when Rajasthan's result came, my parents were very elated and I was just processing it. And then I was like, oh, why are you making such a scene about it? Don't get so emotional. They're like, you won't understand it right now. This time I at least understood.
When one becomes a parent, no, when I was young, even I did not understand about what the feelings my parents may be having.
Yes, sir.
But now I'm a father, so now I know my daughter's good things and her success, how it means, what it means to me.
Yes, sir.
So that is how you will relate it.
Yes, sir.
तो पेरेंट्स का तो ये है कि इतनी मेहनत करते हैं,
बिल्कुल.
इतने अरमान होते हैं, इतने सैक्रिफाइसेस करते हैं. अब योर पेरेंट्स सेंडिंग यू टू कलकत्ता,
Yes, sir.
so that may have been a very tough decision, no?
Absolutely, yes, sir. And they actually put their life on hold for me. So the entire time I was preparing at home, their lives were on hold. I came first. everything. Oh nahi,
The
we have to
whole
look after her.
the whole house used to be commanded, or maybe it used to be commanded by you.
Absolutely, sir. Absolutely. My brother used to get so jealous. Like, you're only listening to her all the time. Whatever she wants to eat, that you will make that. नहीं उसके रूम के अराउंड आवाज मत करो, ऐसे मत करो, उसी के बारे में सब कुछ क्यों है?
So it may have been your preference.
Yes, sir.
Aastha is the top boss of the house, and that happens in every family.
Yes, sir. And that's what parents do.
ठीक है. And इंटरव्यू में क्या पूछा सवाल उन्होंने आपसे?
हाँ जी सर. The interview, they started with very basic questions that where are you from and what were you doing for so long after your college, and I answered that. Then they started asking, then I told them that I was also taking other examinations, so they asked me about Rajasthan a little bit, that why do you want to come to Delhi if you're from Rajasthan originally. Then they moved to South, so there were 5 members, and so 2 members started asking me about very basic CPC, CRPC and evidence questions. They asked me very basic, I don't think I remember because I kind of suppressed that part. I'm so upset about it. But they asked me about Section 9, test identification parade. They asked me about evidence gathering, I think, and admission of evidence, what kind of evidence is admissible, what kind is not. Then they moved to constitution. So they asked me about Article 2. They asked me a problem-based question on Article 46 about government imposing tax. So they asked me if can the government make a law tomorrow saying that you have to pay taxes for certain thing. Okay, does the government have that kind of power? So it was related to Article 246. Then they asked me about res judicata and whether res judicata applies on writs. Then they asked me about Article 21, personal liberty. They asked me about Article 22, arrest and detention related with CRPC. They asked me a lot more questions on constitution, which I'm unable to recall, but there were a lot of questions on constitution, and I think that the entire day they were only asking constitution because I was second to the last. And then when I came outside, one of the girls was standing waiting for her vehicle, or I think her parents, and she asked me, oh, how was your interview? And then I told her that I don't feel very good about it because they asked me a lot of questions on constitution, and not direct questions, they were mixing it up a little. And she said, oh, they asked me constitution as well. And then we came back, so we have this Raul's IAS interview group. And so everybody shares questions. So that day, everybody was asked constitution. Some were asked, I think, constitution mixed with arbitration, etc. as well. So that.
So you were able to handle those questions?
Yes, sir. I was able to handle most of the questions because I was fumbling a little only when I was lacking confidence. I knew the answers to all those questions. There was nothing that they were asking me which wasn't right there. But so when you look at them, you need to be confident when you tell the answer, because they will also be like, are you sure? No, you compile it in a sentence and then you tell us. So I know that in the last question I fumbled. I knew the right answer, but I still fumbled, and I got silent because I thought that I'm not giving the right answer and they will think that, oh, she's so dumb, she can't answer this question also. So then I got blank, and I think that was my biggest mistake because that is when they ended the interview. It was after 7 minutes, but then they were like, okay, no problem. They were very nice, very cordial. Not even for 1 second I felt that they were attacking me or thinking that, oh, she's not able to answer this. Then they said, okay, thank you for coming, have a good day. And then I left from there. And the only reason I was upset was, why didn't I answer that last question? Even if I wasn't sure about it, I could have answered it very properly and then ended the interview.
But you never knew that is going to be the last question.
Yes, sir. But I mean, I just think that you shouldn't go blank there, because that is not professional. That does not show confidence that they require.
But you got fair enough marks in the
Yes,
interview.
sir. I was also surprised at my marks that, I didn't do very badly.
Because ultimately, if you are answering the other questions properly and 1 or 2
Haan ji.
questions which are by way of passing reference, so that does not matter much. So, ठीक है, that is fine. So you have shared about one more thing. What was your answer writing pattern? Because that is all mostly application-based questions. So we want to know that.
Yes, sir. The same pattern that you used to tell us. I used to start with one line, one policy line which you say. And it was very easy because in every question you understand after a point what is the purpose behind that. Then you used to start with the issue, whatever the issue was, and then directly go to the law. Or if the question, so in Delhi it required more of an application, so you used to start with application. So I did a lot of judgment writing for Rajasthan, and I realized that that is a better way for me to write answers. So I used to appreciate the facts and then apply the law. So it became like a judgment pattern. So the criminal law paper, it was a little a different paper this time. So the entire paper, all those 20 markers, I wrote them as judgments.
It should be more or less like that only.
Yes, sir.
The
So,
pattern should be like that.
Hanji. So it was appreciation and facts, as you say.
Mainly what matters in your, in fact, they are new to these classes. So someone had requested me कि आंसर राइटिंग बता दो, तो आंसर राइटिंग इससे पूछो, तुम लोग को तो कराया होगा.
Hanji, Hanji. For Rahul sir's classes, he used to narrate us answers. He used to ask us to write answers, and then he used to narrate us those answers. And every time he narrated an answer, at least I used to be sitting at my home and thinking, when will I write it? I don't think I can still write like that, sir, but I think I can copy a little bit and have my own version of it. But I think the entire point about Rahul sir's answers was that it was very brief. Every line that he gave, it wasn't repeated anywhere in the answer. Every line had a meaning and it was there for a reason. You weren't just writing it because you knew it. Because judiciary answers are not about that. You have to only convey the information which is relevant to the question.
You don't have to beat around the bush.
Yes.
To the point, बिल्कुल straight. So
Because
answer
time
writing
also.
तो we'll be doing in the class, and I'll be taking proper one class or two. मतलब एक क्वेश्चन पे हो सकता है पूरा एक क्लास लग जाए. And normally what I do is I give them questions to you also.
जी जी.
You write the answer on your own. जो भी आपने जीवन में सीखा है, दिमाग लगाओ, लिख के लाओ, और फिर मैं अपनी तरफ से आंसर आपको कैसे लिखना है और आंसर डिक्टेट भी करा दूंगा.
जी.
तो फिर आप दोनों को कंपेयर कर लो. धीरे धीरे विद प्रैक्टिस यू विल स्टार्ट मूविंग, एंड व्हेन आई डू इट सेवरल टाइम्स नो विद डिफरेंट क्वेश्चंस, तो यू विल ग्रेजुअली लर्न. तो धीरे धीरे आपको वो प्रैक्टिस हो जाएगा. In your batch, I think in CPC I may have discussed a lot many
Yes, sir.
answer writing
Yes.
questions. Yeah.
CPC.
And IPC also. IPC,
Yes, sir.
yeah.
IPC was, I think, my first subject in the batch. So at that point, I was a little confused also about it. I couldn't grasp it very well. So I think that CPC was better for me because I understood how to read the law, how to understand it. So I also knew how to write a little on my own. During IPC, I used to write answers like my college. So it used to be a lot of facts, sometimes a lot of law, and I don't think I was able to actually convey what was going on in my head.
So that takes a bit time. Answer writing में थोड़ा सा तो टाइम
जी,
प्रैक्टिस में
बिल्कुल.
लगता है. शुरू में 5-10 आंसर्स लिखोगे तो शायद वो आदत जो है ना कॉलेज वाली वो हो जाती है. हम कॉलेज में नॉर्मली हम क्या लिखते हैं, मतलब क्या करते हैं. एक्चुअली कॉलेज में आपको आंसर राइटिंग का पूरा स्किल तो शायद कुछ टीचर सिखाते होंगे, लेकिन ज़्यादातर नहीं सिखाते. तो क्योंकि उनको ज़रूरत भी नहीं है ना. दे आर नॉट एक्सपेक्टिंग यू टू बी टेकिंग द जुडिशियल एग्जाम्स, नो. तो दे आर मेकिंग यू एडवोकेट्स, लॉयर्स. तो वहाँ पे आपको आदत होती है एक ही बात को बार बार रिपीट करना, और स्टोरी टेलिंग काइंड ऑफ थिंग यू टेंड टू डू, फिलिंग मोर पेजेस. And here in these competitive exams you have to do just the opposite. Write very crisp to the point. आपका बेशक आंसर आधे पेज में ख़त्म हो जाए, एक पेज में ख़त्म हो जाए, लेकिन उतना ही लिखना है आपको. 1.25 पेज, 1.5 पेज, उससे ज़्यादा नहीं लिखना है unless the question requires that. So that is how. So that comes with practice. And you were a very active kind of a student.
Active as in, sir, in classes?
Along with the classes.
No, active as I was studying
अच्छा,
throughout.
I'm not talking about live chat and
Okay,
all.
हाँ.
हाँ.
Yes, I was very active as in I used to solve things. So if you're asking us to revise,
हाँ.
then revise. But during my 1 year period of college, at that point I wasn't very active because I also didn't have a lot of time, and also I think I didn't understand the kind of effort that I had to put in. But as soon as I came back, then I was like, now is the time that I need to devote completely 100%. So then I was very, very active.
And suppose I used to tell you in the class that tomorrow I'll discuss this topic. So उस topic को देख लेते थे पहले से?
Bare Act I used to read.
पढ़ते थे?
Yes sir, Bare Act I used to read before.
पढ़ते थे पक्का?
हाँ जी हाँ जी. Bare
Sure.
Act. Yes sir.
ठीक है. आज मतलब पहले से एक बार पढ़ के
हाँ
आते
जी,
थे.
बट ये अलग बात है कि इतना समझ नहीं आता था पहले.
हाँ,
तो
वो तो
बाद
ठीक
में
है.
ये लगता था कि अरे ये क्या पता चल गया इसके बारे
हाँ
में.
वो तो
कुछ.
होता है. इनको आज भाषण दे रहा था ना इसी बात पे, इसलिए तुमसे पूछा ये. अभी आज सुबह मतलब क्लास शुरू करने के समय यही भाषण दे रहा था, इसीलिए पूछा तुमसे. एनीथिंग एल्स दैट यू वांट टू शेयर विद देम?
I think just follow what Rahul sir is saying and practice a lot. Realize your flaws. I think for a long period of time, I also used to suppress a lot of my flaws regarding, answer writing, And sometimes if I'm messing up somewhere, I used to be like, okay, ये तो ऐसे ही हो गया, मेरा उस time दिमाग नहीं था. But if you realize your flaws right now, you will be able to work on them and practice on them. Take a lot of papers from Krishna sir. Be connected with the coaching. So whatever resources, they're giving a lot of resources. Make use of them because they are yours to take.
And they're for you only, no?
Exactly, because sometimes I've seen people not make use of the coaching material. It's just kept somewhere. I was talking to one of the students from the coaching and he was asking me that, oh, after Rahul sir's classes, don't you go online and, try to find more content on it? And I was like, why would you do so? There is so much to read from what Rahul sir is telling me. I have no time to revise that also so many times, and you are going outside and looking for content. So don't go look out. No textbook, nothing is needed if you have Rahul sir's notes. Just read case laws. Read a lot of case laws.
Case laws is more important than the textbooks.
Yes, sir. Very important. Textbook though is whatever you are saying is there in the textbook. Case laws and when we read case laws and when we're able to solve those cases on the basis of what we have read in the class or what you have taught us, it also gives us the confidence that can be done.
And that is a kind of a practice also, no? You have got the concept and then you are reading the facts and solving it yourself.
Ji.
So that gives you that kind of a practice and that judicial acumen is developed, no?
Yes.
That is how it may.
And I think taking a lot of exams also helped me because it always kept me on my toes.
Yeah.
And that helped because Rajasthan's interview was very different than Haryana. Rajasthan mains and Haryana mains were different than Delhi mains. So and then I think all of them just culminated and helped me in Delhi.
Yeah.
So that is also important. Just when you are in this journey, just take every step towards fulfilling your goal.
And you did not face any lows in between?
Absolutely, sir. One day before Delhi exam, I was crying in front of the mirror thinking I shouldn't go to Delhi because I solved Rahul IAS test series. I didn't have the time to solve them earlier and I took those mains tests, I think a day before leaving for Delhi examination. And I solved them and I was just standing there. I was like, I shouldn't go because there is no way I'm clearing this exam. I have no idea why I'm going. And that happened a lot of times. I have called Krishna sir sometimes saying that I'm not able to remember whatever I'm reading. I forget things. I'm not able to write properly. Goma ma'am is not giving me marks in answer writing. Anjani sir is telling me that after several papers, Anjani sir is still telling me, theek hai. So Yashdeep sir used to say that once Anjani sir told him good. So I was like, I asked Anjani sir once, sir, when will you tell me good? So I was like, you have a long way to go.
Anjani agar good bol de na, matlab ki you are too good. So he normally will not say that.
Sometimes I would not feel like studying also. So there are those days, but I think it's about how you fight through them. Like even after those bad days, you stand up and tell yourself that no, this is what I need to do in my life. So no matter what, I will stop only when I fulfill this. I had all these quotes written, all the quotes that you or Goma ma'am or Nidhi ma'am or Neeraj sir used to say in the class. I had those written in the back of my register. I had these quotes on my cupboard. I had my oath written on my cupboard. And I said that it's still not removed. It will get removed only when I take the oath. And I told myself I will remove this when I take the oath, no matter how many years it takes.
Good.
So I was fortunate that it only took like one attempt.
So you did your graduation from West Bengal. What do you call that university?
WBNUGS. NLU Calcutta, but its name is West Bengal National University of Juridical Sciences.
Achha,
So we call it NUJS.
ठीक है. You can send that name to me on my WhatsApp.
Yes, sir.
Because I have to post it, no?
Okay.
So I write the name of your college.
Yes,
So
I
I
was
may
in
not.
fact asked that in my Delhi interview and Haryana interview as well because juridical is a different word for all the colleges. So they asked me what does juridical means. It means study of legal terminology, writing legal papers, etc., etc. It's a long definition for a very small term, but it is technical. So they asked me that in interview also. So I prepare these questions also if you have something different.
वो सब
about
तो
it.
इंटरव्यू के लिए तो तैयार करना ही पड़ेगा.
जी.
आपके कॉलेज के नाम का डिटेल्स और ऑल दैट वो तो बताएंगे इन लोग को. एंड आपके पापा कुछ बोलेंगे? आप कुछ बोलोगे? नहीं. हाँ आप बोलिए.
सबसे पहले मैं राहुल सर आपको थैंक यू कहना चाहूँगी कि आस्था ने एक ड्रीम देखा और उसने हम सबको इतना प्राउड फील कराया, उसके लिए आपका थैंक यू वेरी मच. आस्था जब पढ़ाई करती थी तो वो मोटिवेशन आपके इंटरव्यू देखा करती थी बच्चों के, नॉर्मा जैन का, आकाश रुआ का, जब वो देखती थी मैं भी उसके साथ बैठती थी कि मुझे भी देखना है। तो मैं एक सोचती थी कि काश आस्था का भी ऐसा ही हो और हम जाएंगे राहुल सर के ऑफिस में और हमारा भी ऐसा इंटरव्यू होगा। तो थैंक यू वेरी मच सर।
Thank you. So that's all.
That's all,
Anything
sir.
else?
No, sir. Just a big thank you to you and the entire coaching. There is every person has just helped, contributed in pushing me towards the goal.
And God bless you. I'm very proud of you.
Thank you, sir. Thank
And
you.
wish you a very wonderful career of judging and justicing.
Yes, sir.
And
Thank you.
I know that you'll make a wonderful judicial officer.
I hope so, sir.
And you have made your parents proud, immensely proud. You have made me and the entire team Rahul IAS very proud. And we are all, the students sitting here also, we are all very proud of you.
Thank you.
God
Thank you,
bless
sir.
you.
Thank
God
you.
bless you. This is small plant for you.
Thank you, sir.
आओ जाओ आप इधर आ जाओ. चॉकलेट्स तुमने क्लास में अर्न किए थे कि नहीं?
Very much. Sir, I've written them in my notes. In CPC classes,
हाँ मनी जल्दी
1 5-star, 1
जल्दी
5-star.
भाग के जाओ और लेके आओ 5 स्टार.
That's you right. I'll ask Rahul, sir. Please give 5 stars.
He'll get you more. It is so wonderful. क्लास में चॉकलेट आप लोग अर्न करते हैं ना, मैं आपकी क्लास में बोला है मैंने कभी, I'll give you 1 5-star chocolate. Students लिख के रखते हैं. Norma used to make smileys there.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir, she said.
And then they will, when she came to she counted and told me, Norma and ये शाना गोयल काउंट करके बताया मुझे कि कितने हो गए मेरे, तो फिर मैंने उतने चॉकलेट्स दिए. तो आप भी वो काउंट कर सकते हो.
That's
और
very motivating. And those interviews were also very helpful. I think I told you earlier also.
Yeah, that
in
motivates.
our low days.
that
Very good to
motivates
look
a
at
lot.
on the
Yeah.
screen.
That is true. So many chocolates. God
Thank
bless
you,
you.
sir. Thank you.
God bless you. Okay. खुश रहो, खुश रहो, खुश रहो. God bless you. बहुत 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 बधाई हो आप लोग को. And wish you all the
Thank you
best.
so much, sir. Thank you.
आ जाओ.
So glad to meet you, sir.